That sort of was hard to say.
Statement only.
Here's a favourite old bush song, and we'd like you all to sing along.
The old gum tree.
Welcome to the Thunda Down Under. The all-Aussie alternative and metal music showcase.
Fly a flag on your aerial.
And how about your host, eh? Kane Vella Fella.
I'm Aimee Volkofsky, and you're listening to the Thunda Down Under on Front Row Radio.
Machines smothered in slime, buried alive in a deep dark mine. 2 million years old, 6,000 feet deep, hundreds of men in the dust and heat. There goes my man. Machines smothered in slime, buried alive in a deep dark mine. How many souls laid to rest deep underground? One last dusty breath. There goes my man. Lead in his veins, crushed by machines, smothered in slime, buried alive in a deep dark mine, buried alive in a deep dark mine, buried alive in a deep dark mine.
I had a dream I was lost at sea. Saw the rose cloud came down
Jeff T, and I'm listening to Thunder Down Under with Kane Vella Fella, right here on Front Row Radio.
We wake up holding hands as a crack in the curtain. The light splashes your sleeping face. I breathe you in, you're all sawdust and smoke, and I smile at the promise of another day with you. birds outside and the wind and the leaves all conspiring, a fabulous chorus. I found you, I found you, I found you, I found you, I found you. There is a future in the air between us. I look at you and I believe it. There is a future in the air between us. I look at you and I believe it. Daytime moon, shooting star, a distant light on the horizon, that's all you were. Something I never got to hold. Passing reflection on a windowed wall. There is a future in the air between us. I look at you and I believe it. There is a future in the air between us. I look at you and I believe it. There is a future in the, there is a future in the air between us, air between us. I look at you and I look at you and I believe it, I believe it. There is a future in the, there is a future in the air between us, air between us. I look at you and I look at you and there is a future in the air between us. There is a future in the air between us. Air between us, air between us. I look at you and I believe it. I believe it, I believe it. There is a future in the air between us. Air between us, air between us. I look at you and I believe it. There is a future in the air between us. There is a future in the air between us. Air between us, air between us. I look at you and I believe it. I believe it, I believe it.
G'day guys, and welcome to our October edition of the Thunda Down Under. And we're interviewing and featuring the amazing Aimee Volkofsky, country, blues and rock artist from New South Wales, Broken Hill. And we just opened up the show with a track from Aimee, of course, that was titled Buried. We then went over to a track from Shane Nicholson and Casey Chambers, Devil's Inside My Head. That is off their Rattlin' Bones album. Third up, guys, the Immaculate Crows, Fade Away Radio. A new track from them, guys. Since 2020, the Immaculate Crows became a loose collective based around songs written and arranged by Bruce Nilsson, and eventually fully produced by Caroline Nilsson. The current core singers are Nikki Steele and Jessica Shipley and Brandon Webb. Their song material is varied and broadly reflects social issues including domestic violence, youth suicide, bullying, female emancipation, anti-vaxxers and conspiracy theorists, poverty, conformity, cancel culture and quirky love songs. Genres employed vary from psychedelic, alternative rock, indie pop, alternative country to alternative blues rock. Listeners, bloggers, and music journalists alike have said the music reminds them of artists as diverse as Pink Floyd, Fleetwood Mac, Jefferson Airplane, The Eagles, The Smiths, Doors, Public Image, Susie and the Banshees, Echo and the Bunnymen, the Stone Roses, Paul Kelly, etc. Their second album, Zombie World, was released on 17th of August 2023 and consists of the remaining 4 tracks co-produced by Mark Hocknell and 8 tracks from the current phase where Carolyn Nilsson fully produces all songs. The music has retro elements but overall remains authentic and hard to categorize. So the Immaculate Crows, guys, look them up. Pretty vast genres there. Definitely worth a listen if you enjoyed that track. We then finished off that segment with a track titled Air Between Us by Mama Kin, who just so happens to be the partner of John Butler. We're going to continue to slowly amp it up throughout the show. We've got another 2.5 hour episode for you. Stick around, guys, whilst we weave the interview with Aimee Volkofsky in and throughout the show. We'll also have another track from her. And don't forget, we will also be announcing another winner of our random listeners draw. Who could it be? Cheers for tuning in with that Vella fella, your host, here on
The Thunder Down Under.
Front Row Radio.
I sit by my window with everything I've done, doors that I've opened and webs that I've spun, and the candle beside me burns to the left, and the rain on the clay sends a lizard to its nest. Will there be a time when I would hold you again, with my arms spread out on my chest? You will rest, and I'll write you a letter with everything I know about the weight of the world and the way things could go. So give up, my friend. Step back again, for some things will be given, for some you'll have to bend, you'll have to bend, my friend, to hold on to this. For some things will come easy, and some will be a test you'll have to bend. The ocean connects me to everything I know, by mellowing my mind so my heart it can call. With these trees as my witness, I'll slice up some fruit, and each to their piece for good intentions and truth. There will be a time when I will hold you again, with my arms spread out. We'll dive right in. So now here is your letter, with everything I know about the weight of the world and the way things could go. So give up, my friend, step back again, for some things will be given, for some you'll have to bend, you'll have to bend, my friend, to hold on to this. For some things will come easy, and some will be a test you'll have to bear. I'll slice up some fruit and each to their peaceful good intentions and truth. There will be a time when I will hold you again with my arms spread out. I will dive right in. So now here is your letter with everything I know about the weight of the world and the way things could go.
Smile
I'm Aimee Volkofsky. I'm a musician and artist living and working on Willakali country in far west New South Wales in a mining town called Broken Hill. I write and play folk and country songs these days, but dip my toe a little bit into rock and roll, and a big passion of mine is helping other artists record and put on shows as well.
Cool. So you like facilitate in events and stuff as well?
Yeah, so Broken Hill doesn't have a lot going on in terms of live music, or not very easily. So it does take a bit of work from us doing house gigs or pooling our resources to put on shows and try and bring people out here or put on shows for local singer-songwriters. And so, yeah, something I've been working on the last few years is called the Boneyard Sessions, and that's live shows and field recording videos of musicians who come and play out here. And, you know, we film out in the bush just acoustically, but then also, yeah, backyard shows or some shows at the town hall here, or a few different venues where we kind of showcase singer-songwriters in a songs in the round kind of style.
Cool. Okay.
So, yeah, that's been a good way. I think I found growing up here, it took me a long time before I saw people performing original songs.
Yep.
And I had to see that to really then imagine that I could do that. So I try and create as much of that experience here as
A
possible.
lot of cover bands and...
Yeah, who are amazing. There's some incredible bands in this town and some venues that, you know, put on really great nights. But yeah, just those kind of smaller middle spaces that are kind of about listening to songs a bit more are harder to make money out of.
Yeah, for sure.
So
for sure.
you got to kind of do it with your community here.
Yeah, cool. Small town sort of mentality and remote as well.
So it takes a lot for bands to get out here. It's expensive, obviously, with the travel and the time to get away. So, yeah, I think, again, trying to go for grants or pooling community resources to get that to happen. So there's a lot of backyard gigs. There's a lot of bring your swag and roll it out in the backyard.
Make your own party,
Yeah, and it kind of, it's a nice filter in a way to make sure that, you know, we only get the best out here who are willing to come along for a bit of an adventure. You kind of have to be prepared for that to enjoy your time out.
For sure. Yeah. So would you say a lot of artists come out here for the experience more so than the money or the exposure?
Yeah, I think most people who reach out just after an outback adventure, it's, you know, on the list of places they're keen to go to. They want to see the beautiful desert. Yeah, I think no one's under any illusions there's a lot of money to be made out here.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Unless you're a miner.
And it is such an original experience for anyone that hasn't been to Broken Hill, or even people that are familiar with Broken Hill. Like, it never gets old, does it?
Yeah, it seems to attract all kinds of characters with all kinds of stories. It's a great place for anyone with an imagination or who likes to find stories.
Cool. Nice. You're listening to
The Thunder Down Under.
right here on Front Row Radio. Aussie! Aussie! Aussie!
Oi, oi, oi!
the city at the evening star. Behind its walls, the grand bazaar. As she walks through its endless maze, cursing those who mistrust her ways. Please, my friend, no matter what she sees, tell my lover, come back to me. Joe is filling out the somber light, casting shadows that will raid the night. Along the alleys of a ruling fears, walk the visions that'll cause her tears. Lying still as she wills her glance, through the eyes of a charmer's trance. Please, my friend, no matter what she sees, tell my lover, come back to me. pool of dreams. Beneath its depths, forgotten streams. Above the city of the evening star. Behind its walls, the grand bazaar. As she walks through its endless maze, cursing those who mistrust her ways. Please love her no matter what she sees. Tell my lover, come back to me.
little stoner rock ditty there from Death by Carrot. That was a track called 5 off of their Rough Cuts album, which is also available on all major streaming platforms. Those guys are a bit of a collective. They met in Brisbane and alternate members in and throughout their journeys in their Ford Transit, which they predominantly live in, traveling around and delivering riffs Australia-wide. Before that, guys, we had a track from the Tea Party. That was The Bazaar, a classic from them. So that group, of course, involving Jeff Martin, who is the multi-instrumentalist, mastermind, and vocalist at the forefront. Which brings us to the second track in that set by Secret Solace. That track was titled Sunshine. These guys are a duo I met up in Cairns when I was living there, and I believe they're now based in Adelaide. Incidentally, that track you just heard was off of their Deep Down EP, and that EP was in fact recorded and produced at River House Studios with the great Jeff Martin of the Tea Party. Jeff also did a lot of the guitar work on the EP. Here's a little blurb of what Jeff Martin has to say about that work. I have been waiting years to produce a sound like this at River House Studios. Of all the production work I have done over the last 25 years, including my work with the Tea Party, Secret Solace EP, Deep Down is in the top 5 of work that I'm most proud of. So if that's what Jeff's got to say about it, definitely worth looking into. If you like that track, you will not find them on Spotify because Spotify sucks, but you will in fact find that EP on Bandcamp. Secret Solace, guys. And kicking off that segment, of course, Xavier Rudd with a classic from him, The Letter.
nothing if I don't succeed. Oh, I know everything I do tonight means nothing if I don't succeed. Oh, I'm insufferable when I'm in heat. It's my animal, my animal. I'm insufferable when I'm in heat. It's my animal, my animal, my animal. It's down.
My favourite Australian beer would have to be, it's not very cool to say, but Carlton Draft. I drink a lot of it. But, you know, I don't mind a Stone and Wood if I'm feeling fancy.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, we don't have a lot in the way of breweries out here, sadly.
Yeah. Very cool. Yeah. Got a distillery though.
We do. A lovely gin distillery.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do great stuff.
Yeah. Cool.
Hey, this is Tom of Loose Surface, and you're listening to The Thunder Down Under on Front Row Radio.
What I expect a nihilistic animal to be something more than he is. Am I just another cannibal eating boys I cannot resist? If I sink my teeth in deeper, will your blood make love taste sweeter? Will I get my satisfaction if I get a new reaction? Hey, you make me sick. You're so full of shit. You can't handle it. You're so full of shit. You teeth and deeper.
Well, look who it is. It's Mark.
Lizzie.
Adzilla, the OG3 of Aussie punk band.
Kathleen Turner Overdrive. And you're listening to
The Thunder Down Under.
On Front Row Radio.
Radio.
They lead the dead parade.
your king. Know your custom, don't speak your tongue. White man can't talk everyone. You don't serve your country, don't serve your king. White man, listen to the songs we sing. White man can't talk everything. We carry in our hearts the true country, and that cannot be stolen. We follow in the steps of our ancestry, and that cannot be broken. We don't serve your country, don't serve your king. Know your custom, don't speak your tongue. White man can't talk everyone. We don't need protection, don't need your hand. Keep your promise on where we stand. We'll listen, we'll understand. Yeah, 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 yeah. We carry in our hearts the true country, and that cannot be stolen. We follow in the steps of our ancestry, and that cannot be broken. We carry in our hearts the true country, and that cannot be stolen. We follow in the steps of our ancestry, and that cannot be broken.
Kicking off that segment, we had Jebediah, Animal. Then we went on to Loose Surface, one of their new releases, Full of Shit. These guys, originally from Southern Tablelands, are now based in Wollongong, and we have been making our mark on the local scene with raucous and rambunctious performances. And we have carved out our own brand of alternative rock, making for loose nights with lots of pints. Since October 2023, we've played over 40 shows, including a self-booked tour to promote our 2024 debut EP, Cheap and Dirty, covering the East Coast and beyond. We have shared the stage with some of the best in the scene, including Avalanche, The Pingers, Fist, and the Smashed Avocados. In January 2025, the band was handpicked by Tui's and Aussie rock legends, the June Rats, to open for them and DZ Death Rays at the Beach Road Hotel in Bondi, a huge moment for them. Then guys, we went over to Toowoomba in Queensland with the femme-fronted 4-piece melodic punk band Kathleen Turner Overdrive with their track Lifestyles of the Rich and Wasted. And these guys have been very busy touring with the album release, their debut album, I believe, A Safe Space for Cryptids, which came out just last month. Definitely worth a look in. And finishing up that segment, a classic from none other than our budgie smuggling comrade, Peter Garrett of Midnight Oil. That was The Dead Heart.
This is Jason from Borden, and you're listening to the Thunder Down Under on Front Row Radio.
Ripping it down your street now, faster than the speed of light. You got a wet dream to join me, feel that rush when the nitrous ignites. Where I'm headed and where I've been, you know I can't say too much. Get in, sit down, shut the hell up. You can look, but you can't touch. Can you smell that gasoline? It's just you, me, and machine. Hold the line for the sexy star, bitch, and drop the clutch as a miniskirt lifts. Smoking up, waiting for the green. Traction, grip, go scream. Still wheel to wheel and nose to nose. Drop the clutch at the flash of her skin. Cups on my tail, red and blue lights, flashing my mirrors tonight. One chance to ditch and pump the gas, grab my Jesus bar for life. Hit it up to the highway, there we can wind it out at the red line. Break the bruise, flash your tools, and ignore the damn stop sign. Can you smell that gasoline? It's just you, me, and machine. Hold the line for the sexy star, bitch, and drop the clutch as a miniskirt lifts. Smoking up, waiting for the green. Traction, grip, go scream. Still wheel to wheel and nose to nose. Drop the clutch at the flash of her skin. Drop the clutch. The line for the sexy star, bitch, and drop the clutch as a miniskirt lifts. Smoking up, waiting for the green. Traction, grip, go scream. Still wheel to wheel and nose to nose. Drop the clutch and the flash of her skin. Drop the clutch. Something to say.
the shell. Sideshow runner in the night. Summer's walking with the eyes so wide. Out of mind in the body of a child. Under the sign of wonderful world. Busy in the cell. Ah, there's a hole in the world when the shotgun shell. Yeah, I'm nothing but you know you say. I'm nothing busy in the cell. Gotta get out before you lose yourself. Busy in the town. There's a hole in the wall with a shotgun shell. Yeah, I'm nothing but you know you say. Busy in the town. Busy in the town. There's a hole in the wall with a shotgun shell. Hole in the wall with a shotgun shell. Boy, you know you say. I'm not busy and busy and busy.
I like to think the strength in my music is it's all very real, lived stuff. I'm not under any illusions that my life is more interesting or important than anyone else's, but I think I know it's easier for me in my life to feel connected to other people, and my songs, I'm trying to do that, is connect people to shared experience and feel less alone in the world. And when I can do that, I feel good about what I'm doing.
Yeah, so music is that, really, isn't it? It's like, it's so subjective, and you, from the artist's perspective, are hoping to connect with people, whereas the listener is hoping to connect with the artist.
Yeah.
So it's a really interesting, retro perspective.
I think so, yeah, you're right. It's people coming from both ends looking for a connection. That can be really powerful. And I think that's why, music even now is becoming one of the few places people can speak really honestly, although not when governments start banning you and arresting you.
Yeah, sure.
But it's where the
publicity
issues
is
of
good
the world.
publicity.
Oh yeah, ideally,
but
it's a loss of money and touring possibilities for a lot of people. Have been vocal in the Palestine against the Palestine war, or there's things that are very important to us as humans that need to be talked about that musicians do, and there's very personal experiences that we can only seem to share and bond over through music.
For sure.
Yeah.
And so it's not a very pop perspective, is it?
I think even pop's looking to do that though. There's still a good pop song is one that feels like a universal experience, and so that's still quite a real thing.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's not the most commercial thing either.
Yeah.
Getting that right. But it is something that can happen, even if it doesn't make
For sure. I guess everything in every genre in music is relatable in some way, and the good pop songs are relatable to many people in a lot of ways.
I think it feels like it's hard to lie in music, and you can tell when something's a facade and when something comes from a very real experience. Not always, but even if you don't like a song or its genre, you can tell when it's real.
Yeah, cool.
Takes my mind back to my homeland, far away. It's a story, planted in my mind. It's so clear, I remember all my sunset dreaming.
My money to registered charities. That way, I know where my money's going. No, you don't. You're not morally superior. You're just gullible and conformist. I know exactly where my money's going, to this bloke with 3 socks and no shoes.
No
stoner rockers Colloidal Silver right there, with one of their singles, Dig Deep. Colloidal Silver's sound is somewhere in the heavier end of the rock scale, with doom, punk, grunge, stoner rock and metal influences. So think Royal Blood, Deftones, early Queens of the Stone Age, or 90s industrial hard rock icons Helmet for a musical comparison. Or better still, listen to their songs on all major streaming platforms or download them from Bandcamp to really get a good earful. Those guys have also got 4 music videos available to stream on YouTube. Check them out, Colloidal Silver. Kicking off that segment, guys, we had Borden with Drop the Clutch over in Sydney there. Jason Borden relocated to Sydney at the age of 18 to pursue a career in the Australian music industry. Borden's musical style fuses gritty alternative grunge with new rock energy, and depending on the song, contains folk, blues, or new metal overtones. This is infused with a commercial sensibility that ensures broad appeal. This unique fusion creates a dynamic sound that pays homage to the roots and influences while delivering fresh, commercially viable tunes. It's a captivating combination of the new and the familiar, offering listeners the best of both worlds. We've heard a fair bit of Borden stuff on the show, and we are yet to hear some more in future episodes. But I can assure you that it is exactly as that just read. He is very versatile in his styles. Check out Borden. Coming up straight after Borden, guys, we had a classic in the rock scene, Johnny Diesel and the Injectors, some of his early day stuff, the Parisian Hotel. And third up in the set, guys, Aboriginal artist Yothu Yindi with their classic Japana subtitled Sunset Dreaming. That little ditty was released in 1989. What a lovely blast from the past indeed.
Take us down, no mistakes. See you maker now when they say forever they break us down, not too late. So we disappear like a broken souvenir, yeah.
Some of my favourite gigs have actually been, this sounds very pretentious to say maybe, but, you know, around a campfire.
Yeah.
Or, you know, under the open sky. I've been lucky enough out here to get to play in some pretty cool locations, you know, national parks or even in the courtyard here where we're sitting in this, you know, heritage courtyard in Broken Hill. I think part of it used to be a prison. And we put on a little festival just in there. You know, you can sit in that courtyard and see the slag heap. From
So you set up
where
the
it
festival
is.
here in this courtyard.
Yeah. And I write a lot about Broken Hill's mining history and the slag heap. It was pretty cool to play in this courtyard under a full moon, looking at the slag heap, singing songs about it.
Yeah. That's so cool.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. Before I moved back to Broken Hill, I spent about 8 years in Melbourne playing a lot of venues around there, and I had this residency going for a while at this place called the Blue Tile Lounge, which doesn't exist anymore, but that was my favourite venue for a long time. That was where I really played some of my earliest gigs, and me and my friends had put on shows. I think that's where I really learned about doing that too.
About organising events.
Yeah, and it just felt like, you know, a small venue that we had a lot of ownership over and we could really play with.
Nice. That's really cool. The Thunder Down Under!
Such as this, I'll take it home and get this buried. this Let me say this properly before words escape me. Let me say this properly. Take you for granted, I miss you. Take this for granted and I will miss you. Take you for granted, I miss you. Take us for granted and I will miss you. I miss you. Take this for granted, I miss you. Take you for granted and I will miss out. I miss you. I miss you. I miss you. Chain yourself to what you need, don't let it go. Once they know you're on your knees, they won't let go. You lied, you changed your mind, and then you undone me. Don't say I'm the only one that's ever let you go. Once you've undone them chains, you know won't let go.
My favourite Australian influences would probably have to include, early on, Adelita of Magic Dirt was a big influence for me. Yeah, seeing a woman in a rock band at the big day out. I wasn't at the big day out, sadly, but seeing photos of it felt pretty mind-blowing at the time. There weren't a lot of girls up there. And she shreds. I really love her album that's just like solo guitar and her. It's fantastic.
Yeah, okay.
Darren Hanlon, he's a most folk country pop singer-songwriter from like the 90s. And he also lived in regional places, toured around a lot, had some big hits on Triple J and stuff, and has done quite well for himself. He's got a beautiful label. But yeah, he just writes some really funny and insightful and compassionate songs about regional places.
Cool.
That I really love.
So we might have to look that one up and maybe include some.
Look up Darren Hanlon, 80 Flip in the Air Records. He's come through Broken Hill a bit and really loves this place too. Adelita, absolutely. Really, to be honest, a good friend of mine, Charlotte Laliva, is her stage name, Charlotte Buckton. She and I have this kind of songwriting exchange going on, and I think seeing her go and do things with music has inspired me a lot, and the sort of musical conversation that we have ongoing inspires a lot of my songwriting. Cool. Go to check her out too.
Yeah, and how long has that been going on for?
Well, we met when I first moved back to Broken Hill and she was living here working as a lawyer.
Yeah.
And that was in 2016. So
she barry you out on any...
I won't say the circumstances of our meeting.
Very cool. Under law and duress.
But we had a good couple of years here, camping and writing music, pretty much. That was our life. And she's moved back to Melbourne now, but has been doing really great things, recording and playing and touring a lot, and champions Broken Hill and sings about this place a lot too. So it kind of feels like there's this little universe that we share of songwriting that's...
And she grew up in Broken Hill as well?
No, she grew up in Newcastle. But spent a good few years out here, just loved this place and writing music about it.
Yeah, cool. It's funny how many similarities there are with Newcastle and Broken Hill as well.
Totally, And I think she ended up finding out her great-grandmother lived in Wilcannia. There's all these, I think a lot of people that end up out here end up finding crazy connections to Broken Hill.
Yeah.
Or I guess because it was one of our biggest cities, way back and very wealthy. A lot of families have, origins here.
That's a nice connection.
That's
cool.
It is
and now that you've come together with music as well.
It's pretty special.
Well, it feels like an elephant shaking his big great trunk for the hell of it. You know that you're dreaming about being loved by him. Too bad the chances are slim. And it's not like Mr.
Impala there, guys. Quite a popular one from them. Elephant. And before that, guys, we went over to Fremantle with a group called Dizzy Planet and their single Chains, a hard, soul-stirring anthem about feeling trapped by restrictions and the desire to break free from the chains that hold us back. Second up in that set, guys, we had Gyroscope, Take This For Granted. Kicking off the segment, guys, we had Australia's answer to the great Alice in Chains. That was Melbourne band Cicada Stone, a track from their latest album titled Future Echoes. That was Broken Souvenir. Turning it up a bit here on the Thunder Down Under on Front Row Radio. And we're heading up to Queensland with the Exotic Potion Cookies to kick off the segment.
We don't think there's much that
interesting stories to share from touring and playing live or being in a band would have to include, well, first of all, a throwback to that place, the Blue Tile Lounge I mentioned before, that was, you know, a tiny little hole-in-the-wall kind of place in Melbourne.
Yeah.
The wiring was so messed up that, like, quite a few times I often close my eyes when I'm singing, and, you know, I get real close to the microphone.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll bump it, you know, you can
Get
like,
into
you really
it,
get into
yeah.
the song, and then you're like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Right, there we go. But every time my lips would touch the microphone, I'd get zapped.
Oh, shit.
And then, like, the lights would dim a little bit.
The earthing was, like, a little bit
pretty
off.
wild.
Same to
That had happened a bit, you know, you're like, can someone jiggle some wires back there and get zapped again?
How do you go about portraying that to the sound man? I'm getting zapped here.
Less electricity through the microphone.
But it ended up being one of your stand-up.
I like to think that it really added to the electricity of the performance, definitely.
Nothing to add a few volts to your performance.
Totally.
Okay, cool.
But yeah, like, gigs and touring out here, it's always fun. Like I said, you want to kind of explain to bands that might not be from here what it's going to be like coming out here. And, you know, you've got to pitch in, and we're camping, it's a bit rough and ready.
Yeah.
You've got to bring all your own sound gear, pack it up, unpack it. But I always make sure to include Volcania on the touring route, because it's a really fun place to play.
Yeah.
And crowds, it's the most appreciative audience you can ever play to.
Yeah.
The biggest dancers, like Broken Hill audiences, don't really dance. They barely clap.
Yeah.
I love my town. I love it dearly, but they don't know how to show that they're having a good time.
Yeah.
You know, they'll be dead silent at the end of the show. They're like, that was amazing. I was so moved. I'm like, what you didn't say, you didn't seem like it. But Volcania will dance, you know, in a heartbeat.
Yep.
But you also have to book the local band, the Black Shadows. And if you don't know, come to the show. So there's like certain local rules, but if you get the right combination, it will be the best gig of your life.
Yeah, cool.
And you'll meet some amazing people, and you'll end up around a fire down the Mallee at the end of the night and meeting the whole town and getting fed.
Yeah.
It's really fun. That's always a nice little surprise to have for people at the end of a tour out west.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. That sounds amazing.
Gotta see how
classic from Wolfmother, Dimension. And we kicked off that segment with the Exotic Potion Cookies, track titled Old Man Time. Hailing from central Queensland, the Exotic Potion Cookies are the outcome of a mad scientist's experiment. Alt-rock, jazz, hip-hop and electronica in a melting test tube of genre-bending funk, creating a result as unpredictable as they are irresistible. This band continues to explore time and time again on big stages nationwide. Their ethos is to continually push musical norms and deliver a wild experience for their audience, whether this be in their packed out home shows in central Queensland or as supports for big acts like The Butterfly Effect. A creatively wild and fearless sonic adventure is the listener's pleasure. The Exotic Potion Cookies engage with the audience to captivate their attention throughout each performance. The band members prefer to remain somewhat exclusive figures, allowing their electrifying music and performance to speak for them. The Exotic Potion Cookies, guys, look them up. Second up in that set, we had The Vines, Outta the Way. Third up, a track from the multi-talented one-man army, Endless Night. That track was titled Cutting Out. Endless Night has been described by others as modern, retro, futuristic, heavy, emotional, progressive, experimental, and industrial. And some words from Psy, the solo artist himself. It is rock, metal, alternative with electronic elements and a heavy focus on guitar. Stay tuned as we announce the winner of this month's random listeners draw on Front Row Radio, the Thunda Down Under.
Production and recording in recent times has been mostly done with the help of very generous friends, mostly from Victoria. So I spent a lot of time in Victoria before I moved back up here.
Yep.
And kept a lot of those music connections. And I guess geographically, Melbourne's a lot closer than Sydney as well. So it's just kind of a more natural connection for us here.
Yeah.
My latest album that I'm in the process of releasing at the moment, Bird Can't Help But Fly Home, I recorded at a friend's studio in Castlemaine in Victoria, Ragged Gum Records, Mitch Dillon there. He's recorded some beautiful stuff. One of my favourite musicians, actually, Jess Parker, Central Victoria, really great blues and country musician. And then it was mastered by someone that Mitch recommended, Casey Rice, who has mixed and mastered and produced some of the best original Australian music that's maybe independent and under-recognised, but Casey Rice has worked with some really great musicians if you're looking for Australian stuff.
Yeah, we all know that it doesn't matter how unrecognised they are. Yeah. There's some amazing talent.
Yeah, and same in the mixing and mastering world. I mean, the dream would be that we'd have a studio set up here in Broken Hill or in the Far West one day. Yeah. But it's really great that there's lots of musicians who we're forming relationships, really. Actually, that connection again from mining towns. I think Broken Hill and Castlemaine. Yeah. Castlemaine's a mining town that was established around the same time as Broken Hill. And a lot of history is shared and families went between those places, and Ballarat and Bendigo. So this sort of seems to be this musical trail, the gold trail of
the gold trail.
The gold trail of the music industry in this part of the world, where there's people sharing resources and contacts along there.
Yeah. Nice. And then you got your production, so that was your mixing, and then your production.
Yeah. Look, I mean, this last record really kept it pretty simple. So recorded it with Mitch, and then Casey did a bit of tweaking with some of the production and mastered it for me. And so now I'm in the process of self-releasing it with the help of a promoter.
Okay, cool. And who's the promoter?
The promoter is Stuart Coop. He's got a radio show on FBI in Sydney and does a lot of work with a lot of really great independent musicians, just pushing it and spreading the word, marketing and booking and doing what he can. So it's been a really great help for me.
Cool.
Only through you, truth and soul.
a track released from their 2002 self-titled EP. That was the now disbanded Brisbane band Melodicy. That was Chemistry. And kicking off from the sunny coast, that was Dead Heat with their single Birdwatching. So far, Dead Heat have released one EP titled It's Not a Phase Mum. Look it up. Available on all streaming platforms. And they're working on their second EP, which is due to be released sometime this year. Second up, we had Ben Ellie's project from Regurgitator. That was Pangea from Brisbane. Track title, Song of the Infinite. Then we cruised on over to Melbourne with Fading Hour, Leave It All Behind. The alt metal heavyweights Fading Hour are charging ahead with their fourth release of 2025, Eclipse, that plunges into darker territory, fusing eerie melodies with thunderous riffs to showcase the band at their most intense and uncompromising. This is Fading Hour, carving their legacy into the future while plunging you into the darkness. Guys, check out Fading Hour. They've got quite the discography. 2008, Beyond the Void. 2015, Hideaway. 2025, Asphyxia. 2025, Out of Nowhere. 2025, Leave It All Behind is the track that we just listened to, 2025 Eclipse, which of course is their most recent album. Welcome to the Thunder Down Under. And we're at it again for another month, another winner of our random listeners draw. Here it comes. Who can it be? This month's winner and follower on Facebook and loyal listener is Shane Turner, the paramedic at Queensland Ambulance Service. Shane, if you're listening, get in touch with me on Facebook, Kane Moose Knuckle Vella, aka Kane Vella Fella. PM me with your postal details and you will have a pretty little prize package compiled by the bands and artists that have so far contributed to the prize pool. Hope to hear from you soon, mate.
As far as plans for the future go, in the near future I've got a few EP launch shows coming up. So in Broken Hill I'll do my first little EP launch in August 7th at the Tipsy Camel, if you're in town.
I'm in town! Hell yeah.
Our great friend William Alexander's coming to play that show, and we're introducing a brand new Broken Hill original artist, Elise Pogson, doing her first solo show, so that's really exciting.
Nice.
And then, going to play a couple of shows in Victoria, in Melbourne and Blackwood in late September, 19th, 18th of September. You'll have to look me up to see the details of those. And currently working on a Sydney show. So I'll do as many live shows as I can. It's got to be slowly kind of petered out, as we discussed. Travel is, a big barrier out here. I'll be getting out of town whenever I have a spare $1,500 to get a flight.
Yeah, fair go.
Or have a week to do a round trip.
Yeah.
But there's some exciting live shows coming up. I also have an exhibition that's opening that's kind of involves my music and songwriting. It's sort of a collaboration with about 20 different women who grew up and lived in Broken Hill. And that experience, the idea of being a woman in a place that can be really tough for women and in a place that is extractive in its mentality, I guess, with its relationship with the mining industry. I think that's an idea that I've been working on, and that's turning into, in the future, this exhibition at Broken Hill City Art Gallery. And I think it seems to be creating a new direction of songwriting. It's kind of an old one, which is about the shared experiences of women in places like this. My experience of that growing up out here. I've found some really cool stories of women. This one diary that I found in the National Archive recently about a woman who spent 3 months out here between Broken Hill and Packsaddle, her observations. There's just some funny little stories in there, like all the horses' names that were like Satan and Sparkles and Butterfly. Things that only a girl would notice, like a girl who's writing in her diary on the trip. It's just all this amazing local colour of that era. Everyone's nicknames. She keeps a record of everyone's nicknames. It's amazing. So I don't know, maybe I'm getting older and getting more interested in history, not only my own, but the place that I live in, trying to have more conversations with a wider variety of people, because there's my experience, there's the experience of colonial women, there's the experience of Indigenous women, there's the experience of immigrants. There's so many stories, and that's something I love about living in a town this size, is it feels like the whole town can be a project.
Well, it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
And you're using your art as well, because you did state you're an artist and a musician, and it all goes hand in hand, but you're amalgamating the two, and let's face it, what artists write and sing about is life experience, and you've gone and gained life experience from a whole different era of experience. And through your art exhibition.
I like to think there's a lot of different stories to tell from this place, and so I like trying to uncover as many of them as I can. I'm also a journalist. It's that's the job that actually pays me. So maybe that's where that kind of interview idea comes from. But, I think songs have so many different elements to them. Bringing other people's stories into them just kind of adds a richness, and I feel like a bit of an obligation maybe as an ambassador for this place, and for a lot of the things that since returning here as an adult I've become a lot more aware of around, the environmental state of this place, racism, women's rights. There's still a lot of really big issues faced in this part of the world, and all over the world really, if we're honest. But I feel some obligation when I go and play shows in other places or sing songs for other people to kind of tell the story of this place and these people and what's going on here, past, present and future. And, to make sure that people know what's happening and what could be better. And
so I guess that's what makes your music unique.
Maybe. It could be. I'm a bit of an old hippie maybe. I like some protest ballad or,
middle-aged. Middle-aged, come on.
A middle-aged hippie. God, does that sound worse? No, it's beautiful. It's a place I love to be, and I just really love this place. I think what I found when I moved from the city to a regional area is that in the city you can end up in a bit of a bubble, and ideas around environmentalism, racism, sexism, they're all in theory, and it's easy for you to be like, yeah, I'm on that bandwagon, absolutely. Save the whales, man. Yeah, save the rivers.
And also, it's easy to just go with the flow.
Yeah, but it's of no consequence to your life, and it can end up being a bit of a badge of honour and just a way to fit into a crowd or something. I don't know. You know, it's a virtue signalling. When you live in places that, you know, those threats are very real, and people that you know and love and work with
there's a lot of consequences to your actions, and
they're losing
even
jobs,
if
they're losing money, they're losing resources because of the environmental problems. They're facing daily racism, they've got terrible access to health. It feels a bit more authentic when you can hear the stories of those people, and that informs your songwriting. It's not just an idea of a distant problem. So that's something that I like about being a songwriter.
Take off your accent. Suffer your fear. Stand on the front line. Battle of fears. We are united. We never fall. We stand together. We never fucking fall.
Kicking off that segment, a 4-piece metal groove outfit from Hobart, Tasmania by the name of Hungus. That track was titled Neurotic Exile. Those guys just released their debut full-length album in September that was recorded at Monolith Studios and engineered by Chris Demalco of Orpheus Omega, and mastered in Sweden by multi-Grammy award-winning engineer Plek at the Panic Room Studio. You will find those guys on all major streaming platforms. Check them out, Hungus. We then had a classic from the mighty Butterfly Effect, Reach. And finishing up, we went over to Adelaide with Greedy Bunch of Parasites. Their track, Calvary, a genre-leaping, hard-hitting, hardcore thrash-style band. Greedy Bunch of Parasites love a filthy breakdown, a fast riff to get everyone moving, and ultimately having a party. And speaking of parties, guys, this one's wrapping up. We're going to leave you with another track from our featured artist, Aimee Volkofsky, Desert Lady. Thanks for joining us, guys, for another month of on Front Row Radio. See you next month.
I'm Aimee Volkofsky, and you're listening to the Thunda Down Under on Front Row Radio.
hunger for blind white fear. You made love to your enemies under a blood red sky, and now you've given up your body to the heat and the flies. Call on the sun, call on the moon, call on the one, 'cause you'll be here soon. Call on the sun, call on the moon, call on the one, 'cause you'll be here soon. You'll be here soon. You'll be here soon. He'll be here
Aussie! Aussie! Aussie!
Oi, oi,
We at the Thunder Down Under and Front Row Radio would like to acknowledge both the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people as the original custodians of this land. You've been listening to the Thunder Down Under, the All Aussie Alternative and Metal Music Showcase.
Oi, oi!